Hello, everyone. Satsangat Astrology today to talk about the full moon in Aries. You know my contact information by now. I am open to orders for readings. So don't hesitate to contact me. If you like my work, please like my videos and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for those who keep coming back, and thank you for the new ones. I hope I can satisfy your information need about the astrology. So today I will speak about the Aries full moon, September 29, 2023, that happens with the sun in Libra and the moon in Aries at 6 degrees exactly, 0 minutes. It's an unusual degree nowadays, but because there's nothing else at 6 degrees on the chart, you will see. But we will talk about this full moon that is very simple to visualize. However, the energy is so complicated, and we will see why. And I'm going to use some references in order to help us understand what is going on with this full moon. Now, remember that full moons are just the middle of the moon cycle, the culmination of the cycle, the point of completion, the point where the maximum level of energy can be reached, right? Usually full moons is the time of the month when we feel very energized and full of drive to do things, right? Because the energy of the moon energizes us. However, it might not be the case with this full moon. And another thing I would like to point out every time I speak about the lunations is that lunations start in a sign, and we need to take into account the energy of that beginning of the cycle. And this cycle started in Virgo. The Virgo new moon, if you remember what I said in the video, it was about a delay beginning, something that you want to start, but it will take some time, probably 6 months at least, because the ruler of Virgo, Mercury, was opposing Saturn, and Chiron, the second ruler of Virgo, was also in a kind of vulnerable position. You need to go back to the new moon report to understand better what this full moon is all about. However, also need to consider the new moon in Aries that happened this year in March, exactly on March 21st, 2023, at 0 degree of Aries. That was a real new beginning for everyone in the whole world, right? Because it was at the 0 Aries, the point, the cardinal point of the world. So something that happened and started at that time may have been developing and now reaching a point of culmination. In general, right, things are heating up in the public area of the human society in general. Listening to the news, you can see that people are kind of heightening up the drive, and the issues are reaching kind of a climax, right? So that might be about this full moon. However, and now I'm going to show you the chart. because this is a very interesting chart. We have the full moon here at the beginning of Aries and Libra, 6 degrees, right? So in the signs of Mars and Venus, and in the decans of Mars and Venus. So it is very strong position for the sign, right? So the sun and moon are activating our consciousness, the sun, our unconscious, and our psychological motivations are activating very powerful Aries and Libra energy. And in opposition, we have here kind of a seesaw in the chart, meaning that we need to find balance. So first of all, the first impression this chart gives is that we need to find balance here. And there is a fulcrum, and it's Pluto still, squaring still the nodes, right? But I think that within this full moon, the most important combination here is this seesaw, right? And it might be balancing or trying to balance with the intense transformation that Pluto is making of society, let's say, the structures of society. This may be a polarization that we are trying to reconcile due to this challenge that Pluto is presenting for the organized society, the civilization, let's say, transforming so many structures in society. So first of all, the most kind of energy is cardinal. We have Aries, we have Libra, we have a lot of energy in those signs. We have Pluto in Capricorn, and elements of cardinality, meaning squares, oppositions, right? It's very, very strongly cardinal card. And what does that mean? Well, it means that we have this seesaw trying to find balance, but at the same time, it's a challenge to make changes, make radical changes. It's kind of forcing us that we need to take action to change. So Aries is a sign of initiation, is a sign of decision-making, of impulses, assertion, right? And sometimes aggression. However, and we have, and Aries is a very kind of ingenious and innovative, but also kind of innocent kind of sign, right? Is I would say at times it could be naive because it's kind of the baby of the zodiac and starting things without taking into consideration dangers or consequences, right? It's impulsive. It's I do it and we'll see later, right? But at this time, we have Mars, the ruler of Aries, in Libra, which is traditionally understood as a detriment for Mars, right? Mars cannot be impulsive in Aries, in Libra, sorry, cannot be impulsive because he needs to consider the needs of other people. He needs to be kind of compromising, doing things, listening to others. And so it's not as assertive, let's say. Well, this Mars may be thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't be so assertive. I should listen to the other person, etc. That's one of the aspects, Mars in Libra. The second factor in why this Mars is so afflicted, is called affliction, is because it's conjoined the south node of the moon. So it's under a spell. It's under a fated spell. So you may feel drained of energy. This Mars is robbed of its vitality, of his viral, masculine impulses. This Mars is kind of subdued, is softer, right? Because of this conjunction to the south node. And it could be that the actions, right, may bring conflicts, problems. It may not, trying to make agreements and trying to make peace or make intentments, understandings, and conversations may not come to fruition, because here we have a Mars that is extremely debilitated. And not only because of those 2 or 3 factors I already mentioned, it is in the decan of Mercury. So there is a lot of conversations, communications that don't go anywhere. It's kind of a Mars that is stuck in the mud and cannot get the engine going. So that's another factor. And so there are so many things, because it is an apex of a finger of God, which is 2 inconjunctions. Inconjunctions are an aspect of needing to find a solution, needing to look for some way to get out of the mud, right? So inconjunctions are a challenge. It's a square and a half, right? And it's 150 degrees. That will be a square, and let me see. I have my calculations wrong. 150 is no, it's a square and a sextile. So a square, first of all, presents the challenge, right? The block. We're blocked on this kind of energy. And then the sextile presents a way out, a solution. So this combination in a 150-degree angle, which is, as I said, a quincunx or inconjunction, presents the need for adjustment, for compromising, for something that needs to give in or give out in order to, and oftentimes what happens is that one oscillates between the 2 extremes. So the 2 inconjuncts are, one is the Virgo energy from Mars to Neptune. So it's a quincunx Mars Neptune, and it has the energy of Virgo. What is it? Well, the energy of Virgo is imbalance, is a problem that needs to be solved. And in this case, I'm going to use this book is called, let's see, The Inconjunct, Understanding Aspects by Alan Epstein, is the best book on the inconjuncts. So Mr. Epstein talks about this aspect of imbalance between Mars and Neptune in this way. So it's difficult to fulfill commitments, first of all. And then it's also a source of self-doubt, and it's a challenge to avoid escaping, right? Because Mars here in quincunx with Neptune would like to not be there, not be in the situation, avoid it at all costs. So it's this aspect has the tendency to the inaction or indecision, uncertainty, and imaginative ways, because we don't know how to take practical measures. So we're stuck in the mud, right? It says also if we are open to new possibilities, that allows to experiment with new procedures, but lack of consistency undermines their effectiveness. So it says that presents difficulty making decisions. It's the source of ambivalence, self-doubt, that precludes inactivity, difficulty to do things. So vacillation, self-doubt, and the need to find reassurance in order to take the action. Sometimes asking someone else, right? Is this okay? Can you help me do this? And oftentimes not finding the help needed. So you can lose confidence in this case, and if you need to do something under instructions, you can misunderstand the instructions, you can confuse the steps, you can make false starts and have difficulty finding the good methods. So as you see, vacillation, not being able to really pay attention, distraction, inactions, and overall ineffective action, right? So, but that's not the only one. Now we have a 210-degree aspect, almost exact by 1 degree orb with Uranus. So here we have this impulsive energy, and it's a 210 degree is the energy of Scorpio, ruled also by Mars. So, and it's very intense, right? This need to do something different, to get out of the norm and do something different. And I'm going to read also from the book some of the sentences. So it looks for assertion in their independence, right? I want to do what I want to do, and I want to be independent. But this rebellion is provoking other people. So it doesn't go well. Whatever you want to do differently doesn't go well because of the inconjunct. It needs to be adjusted. So what else does it say? This aspect indicates misuse of physical powers related to feeling anxious, right? I'm uneasy here, I have anxiety about doing this. So if you have a low level of energy, that can impair your actions as well, and making difficult to take practical actions. So you may fear taking aggressive actions or assertive actions. And then you may be reluctant to take initiatives to assert yourself, and may fear violence, and may fear the unexpected or the out of the ordinary, and also have difficulty expressing this repressed anger, because this Mars that is the detriment in Libra may be passive aggressive as well. So it could be also taking action at the wrong times, out of anxiety or out of impatience. It could also be intellectual Uranus aggressiveness, and it's very difficult to do hard work and be diligent. So Mars is so afflicted in this case. And that's not all, because Mars, the ruler of the full moon, is also opposite the midpoint between Chiron and Aries. So Chiron and Aries combination at the midpoint is a combination of rebellion that goes wrong. So, for example, if you are protesting in the streets for some issue, you may get hurt, for example. So if you are rebelling against authorities, or you are impulsively protesting for something that is unfair, right? That may not get the result that you wanted. So this Mars, again, if this Mars is giving you some energy to rebel against something, it will go wrong, very wrong, because it's an opposition. And we need to consider that Aries is together with the North Node, and it has been since I think a couple of weeks, because it started the conjunction at 25 degrees with the North Node. And so this North Node is empowering Aries, empowering the rebellion, empowering this energy of I was left behind, and nobody cares about me. Everybody thinks that I am different. I feel an outcast. I need to claim my rights because people treat me badly because I'm different. So I need to go out and do something that shows that I am also okay, that I also have the right to exist. Aries in Aries, right? And Chiron is the vulnerability of our existence. So Aries is very, very much intensified by the North Node in this case. So we have this opposition that is super strong, and it debilitates Mars. And one can say, okay, there is a sextile to Venus. They are in good relationship. At least there is one saving grace. But another problem, Venus is square Chiron. So Venus is not in its best shape either. So this sextile Yeah, you may try to use it. Venus in Leo, trying to spend money, going to a restaurant or something, or trying, if you have the money, buy some expensive, I don't know, entertainment, or attending to a show that is very expensive. I mean, I don't know. It could help you in this case kind of evade or avoid this Mars energy. But I don't think it will help much because Venus is also afflicted by Uranus. So in this case, Venus is trying to do something out of the norm as well, something different, having a different relationship. I don't know, having a friendship with a woman that is completely different from your taste before, or on the other hand, establishing any kind of romantic relationship with someone that is foreigner, or there is a geek tech geek, or something, someone who might be very, very eccentric. So I don't know if this sextile that is, yeah, as I said, you can try to use this energy of the sextile with Venus, but it may not really work so positively. And we still have the square of Pluto to the nodal axis. So that is still transforming, and it's about to station at 27 degrees 54 minutes in a few days. In fact, don't remember exactly, but pretty soon, I think it's the 10th of October. Yeah, I think it's the 10th of October that Pluto will station at 27:54 degrees in order to turn direct again. So that will help him get away from the nodes. But since it takes so long to move because it's a very slowly moving planet, it's still in orb for some time until probably December. So I would like to give you good news about this full moon, but go back to Mars in your journal or something and find out what was started for you then, and see how this is evolving or culminating at this point. I hope it's positive for you. Also, you need to observe what is happening with your Mars and what relationship Mars has in your chart with the moon, with your natal moon, your natal Mars. What relation does Mars have with Neptune, with Uranus, and if that will resonate with your chart? Because if Mars makes a square, opposition, or hard aspect with these outer planets, you may feel it. Otherwise, you may not, or you may feel it less because suppose you have a sextile. So you may feel less this effect. Other considerations is that to observe the house occupied by Aries, the sign of Aries, and Scorpio. So these people, for example, if you have the ascendant in Aries and or Scorpio, you may be affected by this. Especially Aries ascendant will have Mars on the other side, having maybe people getting aggressive, or yourself being aggressive to others. and and not being able to succeed in your assertiveness, and other people not understanding you, etc. So people who have a strong Mars, but like angular Mars that is very strong, you may feel it more. And if your Mars is afflicted, then you will certainly feel this affliction now. So look at your level of energy. Maybe it's not a so good time to do heavy work, for example, that requires lots of exercise or sports or things like that. And it might also represent passive aggression if you are kind of mad at someone for something. It could also be affecting your stomach, right? The moon represents the stomach digestion, and you can feel inflammation or fever or some kind of a stomach upset. And it could be related because you are containing yourself and repressing this anger sometimes. So everything related to Mars will be difficult. That's what I'm trying to say. So I hope you do well, and I would like to hear your comments in the comment section below, and see what happens for you. Hopefully, as I said, you do well. So if you like, you can email me with your opinions or your stories if they are private, right? You can share with me, or you can visit my Facebook page. It's at Sangat Astrology. I also have a blog where I just published an article regarding the last hit of the US Pluto return. I talk about the Neptune opposition as well. So I hope you enjoy that article. And thank you for following my blog and for supporting my social media presence. And don't hesitate to also email me if you like to have a reading with me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.